Hi, thanks for joining us today. We've got Kevin Street here with us to talk about long-acting injectable buprenorphine. Kevin is currently a member of several consumer advisory groups, including FNADA, Kirkton Road Centre, the Medically Supervised Injecting Centre, and the Ministry of Health. He's part of a steering committee to encourage GPs and pharmacists to prescribe and dispense Buvidal. He's a volunteer with the Uniting Fair Treatment Campaign, and he's supporting the development of training modules for AOD nursing students through the University of Technology in Sydney. He's presented at APSAT on 2 occasions. He's a peer worker at NEWA, Needle and Syringe Program. Kevin is a passionate advocate for decrim of personal possession and use of all drugs. Thanks for joining us, Kevin.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, so we'll start with thinking about people who are accessing OTP and Buvidal in particular, and how important do you think choice is for people who are looking into this form of treatment?
Choice has always been paramount in my books. It's Buvidal for me has been a game changer because I wanted to get away from the daily visits to the clinics or to the pharmacy. But I do also understand that is some people's sort of social connection with their friends and stuff. So that's one thing people should think about when they're thinking about going on to Buvidal. As I said, it's a matter of choice. If people still want that sort of warm feeling that that methadone may give you, because you don't get that with Buvidal, I want to make that quite clear. By all means, choose to be on methadone. If you like going to the clinic on a daily basis or to the chemist on a daily basis, choose sublingual, choose don't. I chose to go onto a monthly depot program, and it's been a game changer for me. But I've got to stress that's just my personal view on it.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. So you mentioned going to the clinic daily when you're on methadone or biodone. What sort of lifestyle changes are necessary when you make that switch?
Well, the big thing is you're not going to be traveling to the clinic every day. You're not going to be seeing your friends or seeing your compatriots on a daily basis. So there's a hole there to needs to be filled. What made it successful for me was that I was dabbling around the edges of consumer engagement committees and stuff. And when I decided to go onto the depot, I thought I'm going to have a lot more time to devote to consumer engagement in service delivery, and that has just enabled me to sit on several committees to have our consumer voice heard. It's been a wonderful thing. I'm glad I chose it, actually.
Yeah, so it's had a really positive impact.
For me, yes, it has had a positive impact. But I've had friends who've tried going onto the weekly or the monthly depot, and they've decided to go back to daily visits at their clinic. And I understand that. I understand exactly why they chose to do that, why they got off the depot and back onto the sublingual. Again, it's about choice. Again, it's about, like social inclusion, so to speak. But again, I'm just saying that I wanted to move away from that, and it's been perfect balance for me. I'm still in treatment. I'm still dealing with my problematic opiate use, but I pop over to the chemist, which is luckily just across the road from my place. I've scored really well there. My biggest issue is remembering when to go in.
And it's about filling that gap as well when you're not going in.
I don't think people realise how big a hole it's going to leave in their lives when they're not going to the clinic. You go and get your once a month injection. Even if you go to the clinic, you're only there for like 5 or 10 minutes, and you might be able to catch up with a few people then, but you're not coming back for another month, and that I understand leaves a big hole in people's lives. And I don't want to sound religious or anything, but I remember when I was a kid, sort of idle hands is a devil's work or something like that. I'm misquoting stuff like that. I'm far from a religious bone in my body, but things like that sort of sat in the back of my mind when I gave it a lot of thought about going on to the monthly. even though I wanted to get away from the clinic, I knew I would have to find something to do to make what I saw as being successful in my OAT treatment.
Yeah. Okay. So from your perspective, are there any downsides to it?
From my perspective, no, but I can only reiterate, it's a choice I made. It's a choice that needs to be thought about. I've had friends who have transferred from methadone over to Buvidal. I've heard several ways it can be done, but my belief is it should be done in a medicated detox to just enable a smooth transition from an opiate like methadone to an opiate agonist antagonist, which Buvidal is.
Yeah, so it's a really important point that it's an individual choice as to which treatment you maintain on.
Absolutely, it should always be about personal choice. Like a lot of people have said to me, "Oh, Buvidal's a great game changer. Let's get everybody on it." And I say, like hold your horses. It's not for everybody. It's not everyone is going to succeed. Again, it's about like the social inclusion of going to the clinic, which I think is really important for a lot of people, especially if you're actually starting out on OAT treatment. I think some social connections are going to be of great assistance, and further on down the track, think about transferring over to a long-lasting injectable buprenorphine.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That social connection is really important. Are there any other messages that you want to tell people, whether it's people who might be considering it or?
Give it a lot of thought. If you're considering it, do some research. Try and find some people that are on it. It's not hard to do. Just ask around. But I would like to encourage GPs and pharmacists to actually, start thinking about prescribing this. Put away that whole sort of stigmatizing thoughts you have about allowing people with problematic opioid use into your clinic or your doctor's surgery. They're there seeking help. They're not there they're not there drug seeking. They're actually seeking help. This is a really beneficial, I call it a medicine, it's what it is. It's quite beneficial. It's changed my life, but I'm not going to hold myself up as being the poster boy for Buvidal. Yes, it's been great for me, but think about it. But I just want to go back to encouraging GPs and pharmacists to get on the program, so to speak.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. And we appreciate your time today.
That's okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome.